Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here, and going to go over some good stuff today. Now, you know what we've been doing here recently has, focused on prop trading firms and getting people to qualify for their accounts. I wanted to go into that a little bit more because, at a point where I find myself talking to people that are not even traders and, and saying, hey, if you've shown an interest before, but you've said that you don't have the money to trade and stuff. I said, well, I started calling those people back up saying, there's this thing that's, that you could do. You could actually try to trade with other people's money and try to explain to them. And it was like, oh, is there a risk on that? I said, no, not really. I mean, there is a fee that we have to deal with in the beginning to sign up. Oh, so it does cost me money. I said, yeah, but this is my conversation with them. Yeah, but the potential rewards outweigh that so much. It's even like if you're trading with your own money, to take one single loss on your account would cost you more than what you could do and have that opportunity to make money in the market. This is a fantastic opportunity that I want to talk about right now for anybody out there. They talk about side hustles. They talk about, every different way this new generation is trying to make money and stuff. I wish there was a good analogy for this, but my son and I were recently in a casino together, and he's underage, but he's big enough to go into a casino. And I was trying to explain to him the concept of prop trading. I said, you should get some of your friends and, start off that way. I said, you got a great source of information right here, but you can never push your kids into anything. They have to want to do it. But at that point, I realized, you know what? I wouldn't push my kid into something I didn't think was like a unsafe or scamish or something like that. Even though there is roadblocks in doing this, but I think they could be overcome. And that's what I've been focused on. I've been focused on developing a path where we're going to, teach people how to qualify for these accounts, and it's all based off of a signal that we get that we've traded many, many years, but we realize how great it is, and we're just recently really focused on defining it and refine. I call it define and refining it. Refining it meaning, make it even tighter. Even this last week, we in the bots, we're going to talk about the bot today, the Rock bot, which is helping a lot identifying these setups. And these setups are now, people have an opportunity to get into the markets, not really doing much, not really paying for much, buying one of these, not buying, but kind of leasing one of these prop trading accounts. They're called evaluation accounts, where they give you a certain amount of cash in the account. It's a simulation account, so you're not really losing anything for them, and they're not really losing anything. But they give you a strict drawdown, meaning you can't lose a certain amount of money, and they give you a target. And there's other aspects of that, the trailing drawdown and different options and different amount of contracts and stuff. But overall, you have to try to just get a profit. And once you get that profit, and it's all legit and underneath their requirements, then you qualify. That's called a qualification account. That qualifies you for a professional account. And the professional account is an account that so-called is funded, and they're going to split the profits with you. Now, a lot of people, because the competition has been so great among these firms, you've probably heard of them: Bullnox, Apex, Top Step. There's many of them. And so they're always competing now on who could get you the best discount. They're all basically going to match each other's discount codes. And I've reached out to Bullnox. I reached out to Apex and made sure that they know that they give me their best discounts, because I do believe in this as being a legitimate way of actually starting off trading. And it's not going to be for everyone. But what a low entry way of trading. You're going to get the feed. You're going to get your real-time data. You're going to get your charting software. You're going to get the SIM account, and you're on your way. And all you have to do is kind of get to B. You start you off with A. You got to get to B and not blow up the account or so-called lose the money they specify, what the account value is. It's going to have different levels, profit levels, and drawdown or stop levels where they, you get locked out. So it sounds all right. So John, what does that have to do with me? I don't know how to trade or anything. Well, that's what I teach. I mean, and again, I'm so excited about this. I've kind of let parts of the other site. We do so much. We do options, we do stocks, and we do futures. And I've kind of not even touched the options recently. I still do the stocks, but they're more on a swing trade basis. Where we started buying some Intel and stuff. And these are stocks that I'm going to let play out. And, we're not day trading them. Because the real advantage is here, day trading the market, the real advantage is identifying these setups. Now, I've gotten into a zone recently. And I'm very happy about it because I got such great feedback. And we'll discuss some of that feedback. But that zone has been being able to call the market to pretty exact. I mean, it's pretty amazing. And never to be overconfident as a trader, because a trader can't, the market will smack you down once you get too big for your britches. So I'm not saying I'm too big for my britches, but, I've been doing this a long time, since 96. That's last century. But look at it, right? And, after 25, 26, 27 years of doing this, I don't even know. I would go forward and teach people this way, to get started. Unless you're coming in with your own money and stuff, then you could just, still trade the signals. There's nothing better than the signals I'm giving out. And that's why I hope one day my son tries to trade and I get to teach him these levels, because it takes a long time for people to realize, and I always say that, we have thousands and thousands of members throughout the years. Some of them are still with us. A lot of them are still with us. From the beginning, from the beginning of this site, 2007. I started trading in 96, but this site started me starting to teach and stream and do the broadcast all started in 2007. So that's still, what is that? I don't even know. 13 years. And after all that time, this is what I feel comfortable, and this is what I would direct people to get into. Not just doing it the prop way, that's whatever you want to do, but that's a great entryway for people who do not have the money to trade, or they want to give a shot at it, and it's not a lot of risk. Like I said, a good coupon could get you. I'll show you what this is in a second. I also want to go over the setups today, but I want to get my rant out here because, I'm seeing a lot of good stuff come from this, even me growing up and knowing about prop firms, I've always traded my own money, so I'd never really felt the need to do that. But then I started really seeing it start to take off, and I took an interest in it, and realized that, most people are going to blow up. They blow up their accounts. They don't know how to trade. And so I said, I'm going to put out a roadmap, almost a playbook. And that playbook, even though in reality we trade different setups, I could, call it stochastic breakout, 200 period moving average, channel line bounce. I mean, these little 1, 2, 3 patterns, all these different little terminology. X marks the spot. These are things that we recognize in the market that tend to work out. Out of all those, I probably have about 10 different setups that I really look for in the market. The first one, of course, is the divergence setup, but recently we've talked a lot about the quad rotation, which is multiple time frames in the divergence. And where the divergence, where the quad rotation is just a regular, it's like the tradeometer, and the tradeometer is basically this right here. And that's something I built years ago. That this was the concept of the tradeometer, was having multiple time frames on each index lining up, and when they did, you would get a sell signal or a buy signal. So right here, you can actually see this is live right now, and you get this here at Day Trading Radio, by the way. I'll have to give a little plug here. I do this every day, live on DayTraderRadio.com. That's DayTraderRadio.com. Get in the market 8 o'clock. We go to 4, and this tape it's after 6, and I'll be here till 10 trading a bit. 'Cause I love trading. I love figuring out this market, and I figured it out. And I figured it out with a bunch of these little tools that I use, and being able to, logically and use my experience to analyze the market on the go and make these calls and send them out to people. So this is why I've been focused on the prop trading recently, because of the signals. The signals are perfect for prop traders. If you want to qualify, say you're paying, you're paying $20 to open up your prop account, which is very doable. They have different coupons. $20 is the one I opened up was for $18. All right, it depends on the coupon code, and I'm going to get you the coupon codes, the best ones. Actually, I think I'm going to have a 90% one tomorrow. So I would keep an eye. I'll post it in the video when I have it. I put a call in for it to after markets, unless he's going to send it to me now. I've been waiting. I was hoping he was going to send it before this video. Let me check over here. Had all changes. No. Oh, what's this? Oh, yes, we got a Pro Joe wants a lifetime membership. Pro Joe, you're on the mic. I just checked your thing. I'll send you that code in a second. We're having a flash sale, by the way, just 2 days, because this stuff is so good that I don't even want to give it away anymore. That's the big discussion we have every day. When we are able to see these setups, and I'm circling them real time, and we see the reaction, we see the moves off of this, and we see everything. And every day we leave the offices, we leave our kitchens, we leave our basements, we leave wherever you are in trading and stuff. And you leave that, and the next day is just full of opportunity and potential. And we have to get to that point. You have to get to that point. You can't, blow up or get frustrated. Even if you're a new trader, I would recommend doing this in a way to, it just seems, I don't know, it's just, they expect most people to lose because the people don't have discipline and patience and stuff. The accounts, and I understand that, with the drawdown, it's kind of tricky and stuff, but there's ways, there is opportunities every single day with a small account to get 5 to 10 points. This is today's market, and we get in here early in the morning. I got in here right before 8 o'clock, and right when I was sitting down, what did we see? We saw a quad rotation, which is all four quad, 4, Latin, speak different language. And we have this nice higher low on the stochastics, and this is a textbook thing. And I get in the market, I'm sitting down, and I'm all psyched and stuff, and I'm like, holy crap, this is a textbook setup. So my job is to send you that setup as a prop trader. My job is to send out an alert. So I get in, sit down, take the trade, and I send out the alert. Now, if you look at your trade alert box, and I'm going to go into detail on all this stuff. I know I have a lot of questions to answer and stuff. I don't want to make this too boring, but I also want to make it inspiring and exciting. But I think there is a great opportunity here for traders, and traders that have maybe even had a hard time trading because they get emotional. This is a way of actually getting a funded account. And if you get a funded account and it costs you like $20 to try to do that, what's the harm in that? There's no harm in that. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's see, what do we got here? All right, we're going to go to Day Trading Radio dashboard here. I want to see if I can start my stream here too. All right, there's the flash sale actually in the background. You can actually see it. Now, over the years, we've gone up here. Back in 2007 when we started, we were like $14.95 to $19.99. 2010, I'm guesstimating it could have been around 2009. It could have been 2000, whatever. $24.99, $29.95, $49.95, $69.95. We increased the value of the site with so many different tools. That 2023 is $99.95. It comes with the Rockbot code and just until tomorrow night, we're giving a sale. I'm dropping that 99 down to 69 for anyone who wants to get in, and the 69, which is the basic. See, the 99 is carries the Rockbot script, so you can actually get it for the month. And the lifetime, which is really worth it. Normally it's $14.99. I'm going to cut that in half just for 2 days, and then we're going to kind of take this underground, letting people to get in, and then we're going to kind of keep those prices going up, because the opportunity that you have here is just, I put a lot of time in this right now. A lot of time and effort. So we want to protect it too. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for the future. I hope everyone else is too. That's me. That's my standby because I took the recording off. Let me fix that while I'm here. Boo! Check that out. It's a bunch of me. I'm all lined up trading here. That's crazy right there. That's freaking me out. Anyway, that's me looking at the screen. So I guess the screen's coming back, but that's freaking me out. Over on the right-hand side, behind my head, is the trade alert box, and you can see here at 8 o'clock here, super signal, the quad divergence took off. Well, actually, we got into it. Good morning, super signal, right when I'm sitting down, long 44.74, stop at the lows. So that was the super
Order
signal.
submitted.
That's where they're going to go out here.
Failed. Order submitted. Order submitted.
What do I hear?
Order
here?
submitted.
We got red alerts going on here. So let me see. We might have a 5-minute rockbot set up here, live action. Hold on, let me see where that's coming in. Oh, what's going? Oh, this is the momentum trader. No, it's not. Let me double check what's going on. Oh, I have it on the Sim one. All right, let me get back on track here. This is me getting way off track here. Anyway, there's a live alert going on here. For some reason, I was doing some testing. It says momentum traders on right now, which is
order filled.
Which is great right there. And again, this is the type of result. This is how we are nailing this. You're seeing it happen right here. The order goes in and identifies what we're looking for. It moves up the stop very quickly, follows it up. But it's given us an edge. And again, this is just the MES. If this was the ES, and this is on Sim right now, but it would work just as well on real time. I was doing some testing before. I didn't realize I left the alert. I left the script on. The script is actually from the Rockbot script. You get the scripts as a member of Day Trading Radio. All right. What was I just talking about here? So I don't know why that's up and running, but again, it'll follow up very close with a trailing stop, and it's a kind of a scalping, depending on our parameters that we're using. We bring up the parameters here. Actually, what is that? What is it running there? It's a 1 minute time frame. Aha. All right, I see what's going on here. We'll leave that. We'll just leave it on here. Well, I'll follow it up. I'll watch it. I put it on the Rockbot channel there, the other channel too. So as a trader, you have these tools here at your disposal. But I want to actually teach you, or actually almost deliver to you, the setups that are going to give us the biggest moves in the market. Now I'm going to close this out here. We're going to go back to this chart here. That's right when I sat down and I sent out an alert out there, and it ran all the way up. Now, if you got in, I got it at 744.74. I probably even chased it a little here, right here. It went up about 5-6 points. I think I got up 4. It popped up. It came back real fast, and we've been watching that. And again, being in the market, being observant of what happens in the market, we know now that the market's catching on to some things. The algorithms are sneaking out stops. Whenever we have and this is kind of, even though this is an overall video for everyone, this is also a good area for some of the members out there and some of the students out there of this methodology. Just remember, we are seeing a lot more. I mean, our setups are perfect, but we're also seeing the market. It's almost like there's sentinels out there where they realize that the setups are really good, and what's going on is we're getting a series of trailing stops that follow these setups. And then all of a sudden the market will come flushing down and take out all these stops that happen right to here. It'll take out the lows. That's where people put in their stops at great levels. It'll come down and it'll just smack those, and then all of a sudden we'll head right back up. It's amazing. I've seen it so much over the last few sessions and even the last few weeks, and it just tells me that the algorithms are switching up, and And I don't know, I hate to say that, we could do something like that. Or, like, when we do get a great setup like that, what makes this market great? Why is everyone seeing this? And the other question I'm always saying is, if it becomes too perfect of a setup and it always works, at one point it's not going to work. Is the market going to adjust to this? Well, the good thing about these setups and what I teach is the math behind it and the momentum behind it and the base and what this is based. And this is one of the few indicators, right where I have my, the few indicators that is based off of a formula. Now,
Order filled.
the formula was was a formula that George Lane made while he was listening to some Polish guys working on cement mixing. That's a true story. The formula comes from a cement, how you make cement with different percentages of stuff. I don't know. Look it up. So this comes quickly right back, and where did it come back to? A trend line. Trend line was established already from these two pivots, and I extended it all the way here, and it almost hit this perfect. So I kept this trend line in here, and we came right down to it with the divergence. That was beautiful. But look where we came down on that fast rip back down, right to the trend line, to the penny. Ripped right back up, and then it was off to the races. This was a stop run. It's a run down to pick up the stops before everything heads back up. It's usually a good signal, all right? So these are the things that you want to, I should have even, you never know if there's news or anything like that. But if it starts to see it bounce right off of that, volume starts to, kind of get a little bit better. This is the, these are usually good opportunities. Now from that area, it went 68 to 78 in a flash in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I mean, if we had that, we did have that trend line there, and we might have even taken that. I think I did take that, but I didn't probably get the 10 points that we wanted to get on this. But imagine you picking it up right on the trend line. You're that intuitive, and you just picked it up on the trend line, and you get 10 points on it. We get to a point where we want to talk about and again, that's, maybe you don't get in that one. I'm not telling you to get into that type of setup. That's a more advanced setup. You have to really understand the markets. Here we call it the greatest short ever. It was a short. It was a divergence short up against the VWAP. It was perfect. Lower stochastic. It was a quad rotation sell signal too. It was nothing more. We took that short. We got a little pop drop on it. And took profits, but I probably could have went to the bathroom or took a jog to town and come back and have been qualified on 10 more accounts just on the divergent setups today. Market came down fast, and take a look here. We kind of got a little bounce here. This is the first time we got oversold. So this was another kind of a super signal. It was a lower trend line, 1, 2, 3 pattern, and a little setup. And what happened was that we got a little pop, came back, then we got another little pop, but where we came right back up to the trend line. And what happened was we understood this, and I understand this. When this is not moving, the 60-10 is not moving down here. The 60-10, right near my massive right arm. When that's not moving, and this is rotating to the 80 level, and this is holding under the 20, in this case it popped, but once it closed back up under the 20 here, that's a short. Relatively speaking, it didn't really move anywhere. The 1 minute one, this one didn't do anything. This turns over, and the next thing it is. So that we could, even though we got a good setup, there's a safety net that we could get out of if we realized our 60-10 does not move. All right. Market comes down, and then boom, what do we got here? Well, hard to say what we got there. Right here we had a pop, a pullback, a retracement to the trend line. I think that's what we're looking at. Inverted head and shoulders, new trend line. Why did we circle this area here? I don't know if it was a really great divergence. For some reason, we circled it, and it went up from that point. Came back. Now we established a pretty good trend line. Nothing happened there. Oh, as this was playing out, we were watching this, and it was at this point we have a rising wedge pattern. One of the better patterns in the market. Again, a little bit more education. I want to get focused on some other parts of this video, but when I see something great, this is one of the patterns that I prefer to trade as a wedge pattern. First of all, it gives us a lot of different things. It gets a good timing pattern, meaning we could time this. Wedge patterns, you typically break out into 65 to 75% of the pattern. All right. If you have a rising wedge like this, this is the beginning of it. This is the end of it. This is the midpoint, that's 50%, and this would be about 75%, and this is probably about 65. So you're typically breaking down right around this level, and that's exactly where that does. 90% of the time of these wedge patterns break down at this point. So easy trade to, not a bad one. Plus you have a quad rotation to the sell side, and you had a downward trend line here that if we zoomed out, you could see was established from, well, maybe we were just getting established at that point. But anyway, the wedge pattern broke down perfect, came back down hard. We had a nice divergence here. We took this trade, 220. It got a little extended here up to the 200 and rolled over. Now I was taking profits pretty fast today. If you get in late here, I don't know if you would have. You should have made money on this one. The divergence was there. It had two nice candles. Relatively speaking, it had a higher divergence, and we had a nice little run. And we took profits. And then once the market kind of got into that rhythm, we got it oversold here on this trend line, and we were waiting for this thing to go. We got a little pop, and then eventually got that big pop. There was a bigger divergence playing out. And then afternoon came out, and this was a big drop here in the market. The market dropped out here. We're right on this trend line. We circled it. We were watching it. I ended up having a nice, this is actually I was in this trade at this point, but did not like it. We happened to get out before the drop, and then you can see what happened here. But it was a kind of a coil here, and it turned into a coil, and that big pop came up, and then we came back and we turned into a coil divergence. And that was a nice, that's why we circled this. We had the coil, and we had a coil divergence, and a beautiful pop up to the underlying trend line, which we always talk about as our targets. We have a good trend line underneath us, and we break down through it. This goes all the way back sideways to last Friday's lows. We came right back up here, and we tested it perfect. Thanks, Racer, for pointing that out. And this is where we are right now. So again, that was a fast recap. I don't want to go into that too much, but that's what we're trading. Takes a lot of time during the day. And let's just continue here. I had to get Craig out his code for the lifetime flash sale. The code is flash, actually, FLASH. If you happen to get this in time, because it is set to expire tomorrow night. So this is the platform you're getting if you're trading the. And again, I wanted to put out this video also for a lot of new members who are using the Rockbot. So I wanted to go over a couple things, a couple questions I got. Now I first of all, if you got the Rockbot, you're gonna we'll hit on this right now fast. Let me stop that before it gets crazy again. You're going to go to the lower part of your dashboard over here. Not right behind my head. Let me move my head. Right there, the Rockbot is where the code is. So remember, that's where you're going to download the code. You click on that, and it'll say, oh, that's actually, excuse me. I couldn't see with my angle. That's the Rockbot viewer. So that's the Rockbot channel. If you don't have a NinjaTrader platform, you could still take advantage of the Rockbot viewer, meaning that it's running 24/7. I just got an email the other day. Someone said, I keep that thing on all the time in the middle of the night. He goes, I love watching it at night. Oh, I gotta actually. There it is. So that's the Rockbot right now. Just took a little trade before. It sounds like there's an issue with the audio on the Rockbot. I don't talk on that though. Anyway, that's you'll probably have a better resolution than I do because I'm showing the screen through my camera and stuff. But it'll be taking these trades, and it'll have the same parameters. But if we go back here to the dashboard, the one right underneath it. Let me move again. Right there. Rockbot right underneath it says add-ons. Click on that. And this will give us basically, there's a lot of information on here. The setup instructions, what it's used for. And not much has changed other than the scripts have been updated. I kind of go over that. It comes with a tradeometer too, of course. And again, we talked about that a little bit earlier, where you could trade with both of those. They both work great together. I call that a super signal. Now, we're going to update some of this stuff here. It does come with the buy divergence Thunderbird script. Now, we combined the 1 minute and 5 minute, meaning I used to have a 5 minute and a 1 minute, and that was because I was using it to two different time frames, but they were the same script. So we made it just a buy and a short script. So you have a Thunderbird buy 23 script, which is you apply it on the 1 minute, 5 minute, any time frame. It's generic. It's not going to say 1 minute scalp or 5 minute. It's not going to give you those things. It's going to be a generic. So you could apply it to any of the time frames. Same thing with the short. So it looks like there's four. There's still that same amount. It's just they were called something different. You get the bull and bear flag scalping script, which is they're excellent. And again, you see me identifying these bull and bear flags during the day, all day. Now the super signal has been moved on. We've moved on. We're identifying that in a way where you want a super signal is you're going to have two scripts running. You're going to have the 1 minute and 5 minute. And what the super signal was, it was both of those setting up. Now it was a little complex, so we decided it's better just to run the 1 minute and 5 minute, and if they both set up together, that's a super signal. The original gangster, that was an early version of the Thunderbird. It was one of the most original ones. I kept it on there, but it wasn't performing as well as anything, and I don't want to put anything out there that doesn't perform, so we eliminated that. Now the candlestick identifier is there. It's on all Ninja platforms. But the key is the parameters. I mean, the buy divergences, the long and the short, have been perfect. And those things are set up. And you got a momentum one that's coming. And then you have the quad rotation, which is not here. I got to fill that in because I have to go onto that website and add it. But the quad rotation is also on. You get that strategy too. Quad rotation is more of an indicator, but you gotta enable it. So when you go up here, you go up to the top and you get the Rockbot code. Click on that and go to the Rockbot template. And here's the templates. One of the members wanted to know about where the templates were. Let me see if I can find that email. Great, on your video tonight, can you show exactly how to get to download templates? There we go. We're talking to you, Sal. So again, this is your TC2000 templates, and that's TC2000 if you're using that. And the Rockbot, click on that, you'll see my Rockbot template right here, the XML file. The Rockbot latest version, that's your zip file that you download and you upload into your NinjaTrader. General download instructions and template instructions. And people are saying, how do we do the templates? Well, here's the information on that. It's a template including the settings and indicators are being shared to the members. Download, install NinjaTrader chart template. Drop the file onto your computer. Template is an area where you download this text file. After you download, directly move the file into your same location on Documents Ninja A template chart. You can accomplish this by in Windows Explorer. So a basic, easy way of doing that. That's how you're going to get my templates there. Let me see what else we had here. Rockbot, and then template instruction, general download instructions too, how to. Oh, all right, that's just the latest timestamp. This is the latest one, latest version. It's always going to be the latest version, and and here's a list of the indicators that I'm using on a lot of my charts. So I wanted to let you know if you got the NinjaTrader, this is how I set them up. This is the indicators and how we're set up. So everyone's always asking me about it, and this is a good place to have it. What are the stochastic readings? What are the EMA readings? Some other things that we have on there. All right, so that's that. Tick strike here, of course. Everything else, the forums. You get all this. Let me see. What are we up to now? Let me get rid of that. And the other question is, make life easier. The 2 Rockbot web and the one I run in the live room. The 2 on the Rockbot channel and the one you're running live in the room. Can you explain that in each settings too? All right. Well, I'm going to try in the future to kind of just update you with these settings each day if they change. All right. So what I'm going to do is, in this case, let me see what the strategy, and this is just a, if I go over here and bring this over, we're going to bring the Rockbot over. This is the Rockbot strategies. It just had a little order before. And it's a watermark. I do the watermark so I can place my watermark. You can see what you guys are looking at. So this is the overnight parameters, three tick scalp with a tight trailing stop. So let's take a look at exactly what that means. So we have these are the scripts that are running. We have the Thunderbird 23 short, the Thunderbird 23 buy, and the quad rotation. I don't put the flags on here because I like to manage those myself, or at least I do when I do see them. I mean, you could play with anything you want, but the important thing, and I've done a lot of videos on this. This is a great indicator to identify levels, but the market conditions that surround these levels are what's important. So you have to, at least kind of stay in touch with the markets. Just don't put this on cruise control and go to bed. I would never want to do that. You never want to do that. You don't want to gamble. There's a way to success in this market, and the market knows that most people can't get to that level because that's almost a Zen-like level. You need perfect discipline. You need perfect patience. You're dealing with money. You're like inside of a casino. All you have to do is push a button. You have a chance of making money. I mean, even today, I said, "All right, I'm done. We're up nice for the day. I'm not gonna do anything else." At 3 o'clock, 3:15 is usually when I cut it out. I don't like to close. And there I am. Oh, it's gonna get away from me. I'm in. I'm in again. And then I took 3 trades. And they're probably, I think a couple of them came out pretty good, but I think one I got stopped out of first one. And then I was like, that's something I have to go through personally. Trying to, kind of, conquer those urges to continue to trade and continue to try to make money when the market gives you less opportunities. I don't want to be part of that. So that's what I really stress. That's why I think the path is easy, but it's for those who realize what they have to do. And I've talked to people about this. Etienne, that last interview I did, it's a great interview. If you guys want to watch a great interview, I'll put a link in in the video description here. Etienne, trade, what's his, Trade for Life. I forget his, I'm sorry. I'm not prepared, but I just was thinking about it. I did a great interview, and I talked about, how a story when I was trading, and it was during 1998 to 1999 to 2000, and we had the tech bubble. Everyone was trading. You go to bed, you wake up with, the 30-point gains in your stocks. It was crazy. And I had all my friends trading and stuff, and I opened up accounts for them. It was really doing well. So I opened up accounts with them, put them in like $10,000 in each one in a Schwab one account at the time. And I opened up like 3 of them, 3 friends of mine. Everything's going good. This is the stipulation. You have to trade with me. You have to come here. This has to be a job. You have to show up in my office, which was my bedroom. I was a bachelor, so I transferred my whole, transported my bedroom into a trading office, Slept on the floor. I was all about trading. I had a nice setup back in the day when we were using those big CTR monitors. Oh, anyway, everything was great. We'd work as a team and stuff, and then one day a guy's like, he didn't want to drive down. He was living up in Middletown. He didn't want to drive down. He didn't drive down. It got easier from doing it at home. Next thing he comes down, John, I blew up the account. Then the next one comes, John, I blew up the account. I said, why? He goes, well, I just wanted to trade, and I said, yeah. I said, all right, well, I understand now. I understand why people blow up their account. I understand that everyone has to actually find their own way when it comes to trading, too. It's not something I expect them to take and say, this is the only way, even though I believe it is. I honestly believe this is the only way, and I know most people will have to find their way. And then what's going to happen is they're going to realize, yeah, his way was pretty damn good, if not the best way. And, that's truly how I feel. So find your path, but eventually, be on the right path. Head in the right direction at least. So these are the three things in the, this is the parameters on here. So we've taken first profits on 3. And again, this is an overnight scalping range. This is not giving us a lot, but it's locking it in, and it builds. We're trading the MES owning 5 contracts on this, and it works well. So this is the same parameters I'm using on my prop account. Now the prop account's on the other computer. I tried to bring it over on this computer, and I got it started, but it doesn't carry over my trading history for some reason. It's a different computer. I don't know why. It's not that. I looked at, and I couldn't, the rhythmic too. I'll try to get it going again here, but because I wanted to take some trades with you possibly tonight. The market doesn't look like it's doing much, but this is the this for now on is what the parameters are until further notice. All right, so we're going to apply that. Let's go. That was the buy. The short, I'll show you what the short is too. Why not, right? I wanted this to be too long of a video. Apply. Come on. All right. The short here, I'm taking the same early profit. 3 ticks out. Second, 3 ticks, 2 are coming off. Then I extended my downside profit a little to 14 ticks just for the hell of it. Another 2 come off. Stop loss is at 12. The short does not have a closing candlestick. I got to work on that and finish that. So I just have a stop loss tick. I usually put it at 3 points or around there. You could even tighten it up in this environment. Trailing stop starts early after 1 tick, and then it follows by 8. So I'm giving a little bit more room to the downside. And that worked out pretty good tonight. So that worked out good. I'll go over those in a second. So we're going to enable that one. And then you're going to apply that. And this is if you're not familiar with this. Again, you would have to get your platform from NinjaTrader. But if you need a platform, and you could get one with the prop trading. They're going to give you a NinjaTrader platform. The problem is the license they give you is not a multi-broker license. I don't believe it allows third-party add-ons or plugins, so you can't trade you can't put the script on there, or else you could easily rent the script and put the script on there. You have to have a license that you buy from NinjaTrader for it to run scripts and stuff. And how, that's up to you. We don't really have I try to get them to give you guys deals and stuff, but they're very strict. They do a sale maybe once a year, and I know that's probably a big mark because they're licensed. So I'm going to just enable this stuff, and then we'll go to their website in a second. So I'm going to move this back over here. This started new. I want to move it back over on that. These you can see how now we're going to zoom out, and this is another reason why the prop trading and the bot will go so well. this is, there's a lot of crap going on here. This is a 1 minute time frame, and you see a lot of orders going on here. I think there's a couple things that it's reading. I'm gonna have to. There we go. I had a bunch of scripts that it was reading. That's S1 here. But what we notice is that this comes in usually at these pivot areas. The pullback, a pivot, pullback, a pivot, and the move up here. Anytime you see a trailing stop, that means our first target's been hit, most likely. And the trailing stop comes in right after, very fast. So it really protects us to the downside. That's why this has been working out so good for a lot of the traders. Now you can see a beautiful divergent short. This was one that happened. It was here, and then we got a nice pullback and took profits. Then we had a nice divergence here. Look at this spike high, lower high. I mean this, and then boom, 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 right down here. Took everything, and that was beautiful too. You could go back. This will place the trades that were active. And again, you'll notice the common denominator is we're very close to being perfect on our entries here. Let me get rid of this here for a second. This is the market right now. Always watching it. All right, so this is so far the last 2 weeks here, trading the prop account. On average, I took some notes and stuff. I'm always going back trying to see. I know the formula right now. I know what the important part is. I wish I made these a little bit. I can't do this, but let's go over to the average loser here. The average loser, I want to make sure you see that. Pretty small. No real big losers. The percentage of gains are usually what I'm trying to get is over 80%. Let's see if we can zoom out here. This is today. Today's trade. There we go. Had 26 trades, but the only 65.38%, 17 winning trades, 7 losing trades. Now, when I trade on the prop here, I'm both taking manual trades and I'm letting the bot take the trades too. I've been kind of what we call a hybrid. I'm not really doing that. Again, it's okay. But we look at the let's see if we look out here. That was today, 157 here. Yesterday, I actually had a $10 loss. It was break-even day for me the day before. This is, let me see if I can find that. Oh, this is for the week. So we're up $1,300. And the profitability is going up 70%. A lot of trades. The important part is watching that max drawdown. All right. And I want to try to keep our losses to a minimum. That's the big thing. I mean, out of this, do I have it? Average losing trades 50-some%. I just added the thing. I couldn't grab the rest of it.
Tradometer ES overbought.
Uh-oh, let me see what's going on. The market here up against the highs here. The market's up 2 points right now. No real setup here overnight, even though I do think there is opportunities at 3 o'clock in the morning. This one thing I didn't do going in, if we take a bird's eye view of the charts, you see a nice downward trend, nice wedge pattern. Look at this wedge pattern here. See this? This is a nice little wedge pattern. And again, here's that 65-75% area right here. This is, this is textbook stuff right here. Here you had to break down, right? That's 65-75% into the pattern. And here you see this downward wedge right here, lower trend, and right here is your 65-75% of the area. So wedge down, wedge up. Then we wedged up, and then we came back down. But it was a nice little short-term little pop there. And when that, if you have a HPS or what I call high probability setup at that point, be it a relative divergence, quad rotation, and you're in a wedge pattern, doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't. Markets right now. Should you trade overnight? I think you can. I think you gotta maintain that tight stop, and I would only really take divergences and take them and just, it's going to be slow, but I think you could actually do well. I do it sometimes. If there was a setup here, I would take it. But right now, it's, maybe there's a sell side right here. We're up against the highs. We're up against the 200. We got a quad rotation to the downside. Again, it's not about being constantly trading. It's about taking the right trades. It comes down to that. That's what the thing I'll stress is. There is a thing that we promote, the super signal. The super signal is defined by a couple things happening in the market, and when we see that, we identify it and we take the trades. For on the prop trading accounts, you don't need many of these super signals to get a fair amount of points. If they break down, they break down. What's the worst that can happen? You blow up a $17 account. You got to think of it that way. I got to think of it that way. You have to think about it that way. If you're not traded with any real money, the setups need to be taken. Setups are ideal. The circles, even though we got out of this one, this was even a nice setup right here, and knew when it was setting up. I mean, we could see the divergence, and we see a divergence, we see the pop. Now, nothing's happened overnight here. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. We got a grind up. Let's take a look at the question that came in from Wingnut today. He wanted to know what would be the best type of account that he could get into. So I want to actually go over that. I'm actually going to go to let me move this over here. So all I need is something to pop up on the screen. That's let's take a look at the groups. Oh, this is something good here. We got a little feedback from some of our traders. I put this on the Day Trading Radio forum. Kill a week for the rock bot here, prop traders. All right, so that's the super signal on the Apex code they're given. So this is updated. This was Stungo's trade in here. He has four accounts that he's trading right now. And on the Apex session, you can see how many days he's traded, what the trailing drawdown stop is, what his actual amount is, and what his target is. So you can see very close to being. You just have to get through a couple more days. I don't know if there's 7 days. You have to get through 7 days. This one qualified. This one's 2 days away from qualifying. This one's already qualified. What I like about this, he only needs. I think you start off with 25K. You only need to make $1,500 with a $25,000 account. $1,500 is not bad. I mean, you could. I don't know what your max contracts are on this. We have to take a look at that. But that's with a trailing drawdown. Again, if you keep your stops tight, you're going to be okay. I still think that the option 2 with a regular end of day drawdown, I think that would be. I think there's a reason why
Tradometer NQ overbought.
he gave credit all to the rock body. He gave credit. Time to earn, so he's pretty. Oh, there's Jerry's thing. I don't know how that came up. Maybe he liked the video. Again, if you want, this is a great resource, Day Trading Radio, Facebook group. Just look for Day Trading Radio like this, and we got a lot of good information in this. I post a lot of videos on this. We usually do again the research post on here, research recap revelations. I have a podcast I post on this. Any of the new codes or anything. So take advantage of that if you want to become a member of that. That's just a free sign up. Then we're going to be focusing on here Master Traders League, super signals for prop traders. Building this just to kind of keep a conversation. If anybody has any questions and stuff, I did post the Stungo, just questions on that and a lot of things on strategy here on the super signal, what the super signal is about, and how to and people are going to be chiming in, maybe kind of posting their experience and stuff, seeing hopefully we could there's course material on the webinar. That's actually had some really good stuff on it. I highly recommend in this little page here. Learn how to use the super signal for futures trading and prop trading live every day. Now I just made a list of things here of what to do, and it's kind of a checklist, how to start up and how to get everything started. Different courses or different videos that you could look at to get you up to date. Learn about the foundation of the super signal, how to identify it, which we're always teaching. I recommend having multiple monitors so you can have the Rockbot channel on a separate from your other computers, so you can always keep an eye on that. And then if you could get the Rockbot, on the Ninja Trader, that's even better. The super signal alerts, you get those. Again, they're being separated on the site. So if you go to if we go to Day Trading Radio, let me show you something here. And we sign in. Up on the top here it says Alert Manager. And you go to the Alert Manager and you'll see these different type of alerts. And you'll see here Prop Trade Signal Alert. Each are announcements. And then you have underneath that text, but I don't want to put my text up there. I have all these girls calling me. Trade alerts, and you can subscribe to all these and get these all set up the way you want it to set up here. But I think that the value here comes into, let me fix this so I could, it's all, I'm all in trouble now. Put your cell number in there, your carrier, and say yes, you want prop trade signal alerts on that. So now you're going to get the instantaneous text alert. Put your call number in there. You can even test it by getting your own message. Again, that's our alert management system on top of the console, on top of your dashboard, right up here. So make sure you get that, when you log in and stuff. And all the alerts are going to go over here, but they're all going to get disseminated to you in whatever form or fashion you want. So let's go take a look at the two firms that we're working with, and again, it really depends on what you want to work with. I started off with Bull Knox. I heard some good reviews about it. I tried it. I went through the pains and aggravation of trying to set it up with not great instructions. So I've tried to help people set that up. So I think we got it down streamlined now. So if you need any help setting it up, I could bust it out pretty fast now. And if you haven't, you're in the room like you do, just give a shout out and I can help you set it up. Look at the market here, kind of ramping up here, up 3 right now. So we're gonna There we go. So if you zoom down, if you scroll down here, you see the different type of accounts. Now it looks like Stungo is using the 25K accounts on the Apex. They have one here on the Bullnex too. Now you could go either one. These are option 1. They're called option 1 and option 2. No scaling account, option 1 or option 2. Now there's a lot of information out there on the pros and cons of both the option 1 and option 2, the end of the day account versus that's where you put your coupon code. That's if you clicked on that. Let's get that information out to you right now. I'll show you this. All right, so we're going to unpause this here. Unpause it, and you see that the Rockbot here just took a trade, and actually, if we look back here on the Rockbot, I think you could see it, right? You see it actually took a short up here, and it actually had a nice short, and then it went long. It still has a little short on, and now it's the divergence long. It's kind of been in a couple different setups. I've seen this before happen, and lots of times they'll take them both, which is fine. It doesn't hurt the scripts or anything. They could work together. So just looking at that, let's jump back over here to the main screen. My mug, and again, I was just going to set it up. You can see the flag here. You can see the divergence and and you see the move. Again, I was just looking at some of these, reviews on the different the Apex and the Bullnox, and both of them are legit. There is the payouts and everything. A lot of question is, I think a lot of people are wondering, what account size should they use? Should they have a trailing drawdown or a static one or an end of day type of thing? Now I was going to try to get this thing going before the market gets away from me, and we do this. So we have a connection down. This is your NinjaTrader connection, and again, I'll go over it fast. Right now I have an IQ feed, but if I wanted to connect it to my IB Interactive Brokers, I have my Interactive Brokers and my Bullnox here. So you want to just connect it. I'm going to disconnect this. I want to see if I can disconnect that. It's going to disconnect. Oh, it's going to take off. All right, you know what? We're not going to disconnect that. We're going to leave that on because that has a good trade going on right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to connect the Bullnox here, Bullnox. So I explained many times how to set that up. You go to your
order filled.
There's the order filled on that. You go to your connections here and go to configure, and then you're going to go down here to trader rhythmic for NinjaTrader brokerage. That's if you get the Bullnox rhythmic, or if you're using rhythmic, at least this is the way you do it on the Bullnox way. Rhythmic for NinjaTrader. You bring it down there. You can rename it. I renamed it to that. You can keep it the same name. All right, and you're going to add that. It's going to come down here, and then it's going to give you the it's going to give you the name, what you did, and you want the username and password that they sent you when you signed up for your account.
Order filled. Order canceled.
Sorry about that, phone call. So yeah, then you put in your username and password. Keep everything else unchecked. The other important thing is make sure you're doing Rhythmic Paper Trading Chicago right here. Make sure that's on Rhythmic Paper Trading Chicago. And if everything works out here, you have to sign up for the Rhythmic first. You go to the Rhythmic. You apply your password and username into that, and it's going to open up. And that's important that you go there first, because they're going to give you 2 forms that you have to okay, that you're not a professional licensed trader, professional classification. You're non-pro, so you don't have to pay special fees for quotes and stuff. All right, so then we have, I'm going to move that off of here. I want to cancel that. I'm going to go back to my connections. Now we're going to connect the bull knocks. Hopefully it'll go on. All right, it connected. Good, and it connects. So you can check the connection. And now when you have that set up like that and you have your NinjaTrader on, this is, oh, look at this market here, kind of came back here, giving us another divergence, a very steep divergence. Might actually see a trade here happen. All right, so what do I have here? I got to get a chart up here. So let's go to, all right, so this is a chart that's it's on the sim right there. That's something I was just mirroring on the sim. But we're going to switch, that's on the RockBot channel. So again, you can see it took profits, hit targets with a trailing stop. Let's see what happens here. Let's see. All right, so now it's still in the short. So the stop for the short is right above us. The profit for the short is down below us. But over on the right-hand side now, we're going to pull down the list here. And now you can see whatever accounts you have connected. There's the Bull Knox account. And then you can click on that. And that sets us up and trade. Now we could trade off of that here. And now, because I'm using a multi-license broker, multi-license for my NinjaTrader, I could actually use the scripts here. So I'm going to pull my script down here. I'm going to take the 23 buy, and we're going to add that to the setup there. And then I'm going to use my overnight parameters. So 3, we'll keep it 10, 2, 2, 6. 4, 1, 3, 1, 4, 8, 9, 10. 1, 4 trailing stop, signal bar low, and we're going to make sure that the account is set on the Bull Knox, and everything else we'll keep it. We're going to enable that. Boom. So now I have that running in the background, and that's a recent trade. If we had it running right here, there was some recent trades right there going on. Oh, back here too. So maybe we'll get another one. Maybe we'll have some live action here tonight. Not much going on here. The choppiness is, let's see where we are. I'll just keep it running in the background. I don't have a short on it. Let's put the short on there too. So we're going to go to 23 short. And we're going to take that off fast with 3. Let's do 10. Let's do 12. Let's do 1. Let's do 4. Excuse me. Sorry about that. That snuck up on me. We're going to make sure that's on our account too here, the Bull Knox there. And that's it. And we're going to let that run here. And it'll there's the short it took earlier. So now it's just running. And when you run this, and if you are running it or watching I should be in the markets also. I mean, unless you're doing some things in the middle of the night and stuff. So we'll be on top of this together. Remember that probably the most important thing about the super signal is having both things line up. It's not just a divergence, but it's a divergence and a rotation. As you can see, this 60-10 here down here, 60 is only at 46 and change. It's nowhere near that. You can see it here too. It's 42 on the Medved. And it hasn't gotten oversold yet. It's slowly moving down. But here you have a slight little divergence. But the key comes in here when you have all of these lining up, or you have all oversold, and then you have a divergence. That is the best setup out there. That is our white buffalo. That we're always looking at white whale, the big. That's what we're always searching for. And this right here is actually a little divergence. You can see it here. That little candle came down, little pop back up. It's a little chop overnight. And this is kind of drifting here, but this will only trigger if the formula fits. Right now, we can't really tell. Nothing going on here. A little choppy though. That's not bad. I like these candles. I like those candles. To keep our trades running in the background too. Just after 8 o'clock too. 8 o'clock here. That means after hours markets, stock trading has closed. There is some new, ETFs and stuff that trade around the clock, but I don't pay attention to those. I think we had a couple more questions on this, but I was going over some things I was going to show. Me and Gene. Let's see here. So this was part of the webinar we did the other night, and we were talking about what the official super signal is and how we're going to apply it to our prop accounts and stuff. And it's a merger of two big setups: a quad rotation plus one of the following: classic lane divergence, or double bottom divergence, or relative divergence, or coil stochastic, or a trend line touch retracement. Those are basically the three. They have to be combination. You want to have both of them. Quad rotation plus an HPS equals a super signal. Now, one level under a super signal, these are trades that we could easily take as a regular coiled stochastic divergence, which I love. I love coiled stochastic. Any type of coil and a divergence is great. That means that 60-10 is probably not set up, but you have it set up on other things. Lower trend line divergence, usually in a downward channel. You have a nice downward channel. You usually see, or a wedge pattern, you see that divergence happen on the bottom of a wedge pattern, and that's falling wedges and downward channels. And the 2020 bull flag, a strong trending market. That the technique we use for that is unstoppable. That's really good. So we were talking about the best value. All right, let's go. This is only a comparison between the $50,000 and $25,000 account. Now, the $25,000 account has a 1-to-1 ratio risk-reward versus what your trailing threshold is versus the $50,000, which is 1.2 to 1. So it's a little bit better actually on the 25K. The trailing, let me see here. Let's jump down here for a second. Again, with the 25,000 starting capital. Nope, you can't even see that, can you? There you go. Let's make sure you can read that. Again, 25K was a 1-to-1 ratio. The 50K is a 1.2 to 1 ratio. The starting capital, these are usually the different options you have. 25K, 50K, 75, 100, 150, 250. And these are usually profit goals. Actually, this is the apex was 3,000. I believe on the bull knocks on the 50,000 is 2,500, which is pretty good. These are kind of relative across the industry. But the 1,500 is standard here on the 25, and that's not that much if they're letting you trade 4 contracts of the ES. And that's what I'm saying. That's where it comes down to. You get a 25K account or a few of them, and you wait for the perfect setup. You could easily make this very fast, very, very fast. Let's just break that down for a second. What do I have here? Let me see. Is it my position calculator here? We need to make. All right, say we're trading. We want, and again, a great signal. You have to take the ES over the MES. The point value $50 $50 a point versus the $5 a point on the MES. So I have this set up here. Just kind of do fast calculations. You can only all right. So say you get that 25K account, you need to make 1,500. All right. And you can only trade 4 contracts. So you get a great setup. This is what you're starting to make. 4 points, 4 points is $800. It's halfway there. 5 points is $1,000. 5 points, $1,000. Just think about that. $1,500 to qualify. You do it. You don't even have to do it in one day. I mean, do it. Again, for me, when I was doing the doing the trading and stuff, and sometimes taking my stuff off way too early. The fact is, let me see if I could. The fact is, hold on, I'm just gonna get my facts together. All right, let's get this over here. The fact is here, I'm only trading five contracts when I use it, or 2 contracts. I'm only trading 2 MES contracts usually, and I'm coming up, and I'm where is this here? I need to zoom over here. Oop, wrong one. I'm getting all over the place now. All right, there we go. So this is my net profit for the day, trading mostly the MES. The big days we had here, I did probably do a couple ES, like back here. I have to look back in the records and stuff. But even if we look at this, I say if these are all MES, what you do is just, if they were, and again, none of them were really over 5 contracts.
Order filled. Order canceled.
Just say, hey, what happens if this, just add a 0
Order
onto it.
submitted. Order submitted.
Add a 0
Order
onto
filled.
it.
Order filled.
If you want
Order
to
submitted.
see what it would have been
Order
if you had
submitted.
just traded
Order
ES. So
submitted.
this would have been
Order
$6,000.
submitted.
18 trades. This would have been $900. This would be $4,000. Multiply it by 10. Well, actually, just put a 0 on it, because we're only trading that amount of shares anyway, so relative to what it is. So you get comfortable doing the MES or something a little bit smaller. You get and wait for those big setups, and when you have those big setups and you have those perfect setups, you could get there really, really fast, even with 4 contracts with the 25K. 6 contracts brings you 8. All you need is 8-point move. Now let's go back and take a look at. Here's a trade right there going on. I don't like that big candle. That took off with a big candle there. We're going to go back here and say, all right, if we did go in here and believed in that setup here, even though it was at point 48, I don't know what the price was, but say 50, you get on late. You got a very good opportunity to get 4 or 5 points on that trade alone. You do find that trade, that type of trade once a day with 4 contracts, and you get 4 or 5 points once a day. That's all you're looking for. And if it doesn't work, you stop out. It's either going to work or it's not going to work. All right. You're not going to take, when you have that divergence, you start to see that the odds are it's going to work. You got to put that stop in there, and you got to let it work for you. On some occasions, it comes down a little and it takes you out, but if it reverses, you got to get right back in. These things are very tricky at that point. But if you get a divergence, you got to get in, and you got to get you got to get paid for that. That's what we're waiting for. All these moves, potential moves, the beautiful divergence here. This, I was just saying, I started off the day getting in here. I think we got it at 70. What did I get in on? I forget what the price was. 74 maybe. 73, 4, 5 points. It went up to 82. It went up 5, 6, 7 points.
Order submitted.
I think we're in a trade too. I'm not even sure. You know, this is the rock bottom, and I was waiting for that. Hold on. I did activate it, so I don't know if it's active or not. Yes, it is. All right, so there we go, live action. So now we're trading the Bullnox account here. The bot came into play.
Order filled.
Boom! There goes the trailing stop, just following it up. And sometimes I just randomly take it off. We don't usually get these type of moves. 53 to 56. That's a 3-point move right there. I think I'll just take that off. Profit target, or you can let it run, but looks like I'm happy when we get those moves. And again, the key is locking in your profits.
Order canceled.
So we
Order
lock in
canceled.
the profits
Order
right
submitted.
there. And
Order
then look at it, comes
filled.
right back down. Right back down. I want to reactivate it though, because if you hit that stop out, or you stop out of your thing, and I'm not trading a lot here, but this is what goes on all day. You know, it knocks it out at 20, 30, dollars here, 20, $30 there. They add up. You got a couple hundred. Now, if they were ES, this would have been $110 trade instead of $11 trade. Well, let's switch over to the ES. Well.
Order filled.
There's a rock bot here, continuing to push higher. I'm going to switch back over to the rock bot there. Rock bot still in the trade with a nice trailing stop on it. It continues to go. Don't you love it? I gotta love this stuff. I mean, even here, beautiful long. You could have qualified here overnight if you just taken it and just sat back and went to go to get a slice of pizza. Come back an hour later, you're trading with other people's money. OPP. Here we have a good setup here. You did get in a little late there. I wanted to. But, hey, the object is to get the right position. We probably would have noticed that. That's still moving here. Probably going to be the best setup of the night. Well, you get to see it happen right in front of you. It's the best. Hey, Viljar. And I'm glad everyone in the room here kind of, gathered, throwing things back and forth, discussing their trades. That's very, makes me really happy, because I think that, this is a lonely game, and having people that are passionate about it together, trading together, it's a great feeling. Guys, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight at 8:30. No doji, good morning, afternoon, evening. Jerry Jr., 2 for 2 for so far. There you go, Jerry. Now we have to just wait for the next setup. We got a rotation though, and again, this is something that we always working on. Trailing stops. How far does this go? If you were in this one, it rotated all the way up. It continued to be embedded and continued to move higher. Here we just started a rotation. Almost was a quad rotation. It came down to that line. It was pretty close to it. A great little tool on the Ninja Trader is the data box here. Where's the data box? Here it is. No, that's the. Johnny, what are you doing? Where's the data box? Oh, you know what worked this time? This actually worked on this. The trailing stop came through on this one. So here's a data box on the NinjaTrader, and you could kind of, whatever indicators you have, it'll show up. So if you put your crosshair on it, put our pointer on there, and then we could actually see that candle and what everything was lined up at that candle. How far did we get down on the stochastics at this point?
Order filled. Order canceled.
There's the market are taking profits. All right, so it looks like the 60-10 was at 24. It was very close. It was at 24, not under 20. Again, that's another thing we have to kind of work around, is how, where do we draw that line? No, I'm not even showing that. Sorry. There we go. I wasn't even showing that on the video. So what I was looking at is the quad rotation here. All three, actually. This is 3 on this. I have to add the other indicator on this, but we're looking at the low point here, and at that point I'm looking at the 60-10, which was at 23 at the time. 23, maybe 25 is our threshold. That might be a good threshold. Again, if we zoom out here, there's not many. Here's one right about. That would have been close to 1. That's 20, right on the 20 line here. Right here, right on the low. And then we kind of just slow move up. I mean, the divergence came in too. Had a little trailing stop. It was choppy. But I like looking at that that bird's eye view here. Here we have a low, low, low right here. And you had one here. So you had one right here, divergence long, nice pop. Then they had a quad rotation here. Just about, yeah, I think it was a good quad rotation right there. So that's, even the quad rotations seem to be really good. If you got to have something on your side, have a quad on your side. I'll leave that. I think it's still active. We activated it again, right? Yeah. All right. The other thing, a couple more emails. I was just trying to answer some questions of people out there. We were talking about before on the starting capital. How much what our goal is with a starting capital. So 6,000 for 100,000. But the 25K, just as an example, I wanted to show you that 25K. If you wanted to start real cheap, again, the cost to entry on these things, creating a whole account, getting all the software, the keys and stuff, and have the rhythmic, and paying $16, $17, $18 to try to do this. And seeing the setups, we give you 5 to 6 points every trade. You're there. I mean, this is much better than trading your own money. And then, because now you're trading someone else's money. And it's always better to trade someone else's money than your money if you're going to get paid. I don't think this is going to last too long, honestly. I think this somehow blows up like BitConnect. Some things look too good to be true, especially if you kind of got an edge to it. And we have an edge. I guarantee it, we have an edge here. And right when we have that edge and things start to look really good, that's when things are all going to hit. That's when it's all going to go down. Something's going to happen. It always happens when I get involved. Max drawdowns. So, again, with your 25K, 1,500 on a drawdown, it's like 1-to-1, right? This is amazing. So again, 2,500 is what I'm dealing with. The 75K is 2,700. I just think the lower accounts are good, but this is something also you have to remember. You qualify with a 25K account or a 50K account, you're going to trade in with a pro account that's the same amount. So if you qualify with a 300K account, you're going to make a lot more money, or you have an opportunity to make a lot more money. I was looking at some of the payouts from, some of these firms. Some of it's public. Let me get this copy image. No, let me save image. Let me save that. I want to bring this over so you can see it. I think it's inspiring. All right, it's inspiring. All right, let me just set this up for you, and I'm going to show you something. Oh, I wonder if this is going to be good or not. Let's save. Maybe it wasn't. Oh, it is an image. All right, this was the payouts from Apex. I was checking out, I took a screenshot of it. And I can't see this not being true or anything. So, this guy is killing it here. He's hiding his name. I mean, imagine getting a payout of $292,000 or a payout of 87. You get yourself a qualified account. You go all in, buddy. You got a good HPS super signal. It's the life-changing trades. These are life-changing trades. The opportunity is right on our fingertips. Right? I mean, yeah, you can get the 2,000 withdrawals. You can get the bigger withdrawals, but you got to trade the bigger accounts. So there is opportunities to make $50,000, $100,000, being on the right side of a trade, loading up. So what? You get stopped out. Well, you start small, you get bigger and bigger. You know the system. You wait. You have patience. It's like there's no blind here in the market. There's no blinds. You can wait this market out and get a good setup, even though maybe, you go month to month, you have to pay your little fee. Well, whoop-de-doo. Give me a couple $50,000 payouts. I'll wait for my trade. With the market here coming back up here, do we have any setups here? So the market's getting into a nice little setup here. What time is it? 8:30. All right, so it's 8:30. We have a nice little pullback here. All right. I'm going to start charting some of this stuff out here. Let me pause this for a second.
Order filled.
So
Order
Rockbot here
submitted.
taking profits.
Order canceled. Order canceled.
Actually took profits on the first profit. Let's go switch over to the Rockbot for a second. You'll see it. It's doing the same thing I'm doing. Except I put my stop. I'm going to let this run a bit here because, sometimes these things are a little freaky. They just snap down. Then you get a nice little pop. And next thing you know, you're back on track. All right, so I was going to answer a couple more emails here for you before I let this video go into the ether. And that please send code. All right, let's see here. Code Pro Joe. Did I send you the code yet? There's another request, please. I did that. Webinar.
Quad rotation setup.
Another quad
Order
rotation.
submitted. Order filled.
Market here
Order
back in.
submitted. Order submitted. Order submitted.
That's good.
Order
I'll just take that
canceled.
off.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Build that back up here. I didn't like that little flush there. Very suspect again. Tell you, these algorithms, I think, are starting to track us. Rockbach, you see those blue bars here? Those represent the quad rotation setup. So that's when all four stochastics get underneath our levels, and that's where we typically have a combination of a quad and a divergence. That represents a super signal. And you can see this. You can see it on the other chart here. Fast.
Order filled.
It continues to push higher. Look at the a very slight divergence on the bottom here. You can see a little bit more on the 14.3. That little slope as the market was selling off, we started to get a little slope to the upside. Started to get a little slope. Not that that would have been easy to see. I'm just recognizing it now, but that all means something with the formula, how the formula is based, and seeing that rotation and each of the closing prices over the last period, how many periods we're looking at, in this case the 9 periods going back. Look at this thing pop back up. Look at that thing. Now you see the stop here, kind of chasing it up. It's very close. The tight stop will continue to move that stop up underneath the price. This is a good script for any explosive moves too, to the upside, because it follows it up pretty fast. Doesn't give much of a pullback. Again, the other thing is, I can't stress enough, kind of always be around. I would not be turning it on. I would be watching it, making sure sometimes the stops, get held up, NinjaTrader or your platform, your quotes. These things could get buggy sometimes. So you have to always be monitoring it, just out of, especially if you're trading your own money. Let's zoom in back out here one more time. So I think we answered a lot of the questions out there. I'll send some videos. I told them to send these videos out. Look at that. Wow. Just look at that. It's like, here's an HPS setup. Looks like all ready to go. No, it doesn't.
Filled.
We're going to crush you right now. We're going to drop it like the world's ending. And then we're going to bring it right back up. That was a double bottom. It was a perfect double bottom. Right? I mean, well, was it? No, wait a second. I thought it was. What was I just looking at before? It looked like a double bottom to me. Oh, you know what is? I'm just looking at it here. We're going to zoom out. There we go. See the low back here at we'll just call it right at the close, right before the close. And that was the low of the day there. So that comes down to the candle bar low of the previous day, which is important. That's a big, big candle. And look at the reaction of that. Talk about algorithms gone wild. I mean, if we could have, I'm not even going to tell you that what this move could have made you. And again, there's a situation where you got the bot on your side, it takes the trade, you got a quad rotation, you see a slight rotation. What was my entry on this? Did I get an entry on that? I don't know if it holds on to it. All right, let's switch out. Oh, we're going to move that over, and we're going to switch back over to my screen. That continues to just roll right up here. Look at how impressive that is. Impressive. And what I was going to say here again, if you're in this here, divergence long came in really early, 47. Now it's at 52, 5-point move. We talk about what is it? Not that you're going to get that 5-point move, but 3 to 4 points on 4 contracts. What is that giving you? 4 contracts, 3 points is $600, 4 points is $800. You're halfway there in the 15 minutes of the overnight session. I wish I was in that, actually. It's still looking good. That was a big shakeout. But the opportunities are always there, and they will always be there. So that ends this night's video. A little recap, review, answered some questions. Hope you enjoyed that. If you want any more information on the Rockbot, just contact me at ironaction@yahoo.com or dtrs@daytradingradio.com. They both work. We're always improving everything. I think tomorrow's going to have we're going to have a great day. We're going to come in here. We're going to get our first super signal. And we're going to take it, we're going to go max in, and we're going to finish it, and we're going to go go get a margarita. That's what we're going to do tomorrow. That's the game plan tomorrow. Have a great evening, everyone. I'm going to do this video, get it out to you. And
order filled.
Do a little research. There's the Rockbot. Just took profits on the... So the trailing stop, that's just classic right there. Look at that. Wow. All right. Salute. Thank you, veterans. See you guys in the market tomorrow. Let's get ready to rock. See ya. Oh, flash sale. Don't forget it.